Hello and welcome to your channel Excel. Today we will be studying about BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC stands for Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. It is a regional organization of 7 countries which are Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Nepal and Bhutan. The trick to remember BIMSTEC is B stands for Bangladesh, I for India, M for Myanmar, S for Sri Lanka, T for Thailand and the rest 2 are odd, which is Nepal and Bhutan, the only mismatch of the 7. Of the 7 member countries, 5 are RIM countries and 2 are landlocked countries. What does RIM stands for? RIM is edge or border something. Why RIM countries? Because they are surrounding the Bay of Bengal, the oceanic body. Although Nepal and Bhutan do not encircle Bay of Bengal, they more or less depend on it. All countries of group except Myanmar and Thailand are part of SAARC. The headquarters or the permanent secretariat is at Dhaka, Bangladesh. Timeline of BIMSTEC. In 1962, there was India-China war in which China won. China and Pakistan becomes close friend. In 1992, Look East policy was put forth by the PM P.V. Narasimha Rao, the then Prime Minister. Later it is developed to Act East policy by our present Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. On 6 June 1997, at Bangkok Declaration, Thailand, BIMSTEC comes into being. BIMSTEC stands for Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation. On 22nd December 1997, Myanmar becomes a member and the group is renamed to BIMSTEC. B for Bangladesh, I for India, M for Myanmar, S for Sri Lanka, T for Thailand Economic Cooperation at a ministerial meeting in Bangkok, Thailand. In 1998, Nepal becomes an observer. Who becomes the observer? Observer countries are those who either want to become a member or profit or loss depends upon it. On February 2004, Nepal and Bhutan becomes full members of BIMSTEC. On 31st July 2004, the first BIMSTEC summit takes place and the group is renamed to Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. The chairmanship of BIMSTEC is decided by the alphabetical order starting with Bangladesh 1997 and 1999. On 30 and 31st August 2018, the fourth BIMSTEC summit takes place at Kathmandu, Nepal. The next summit will be held in Sri Lanka, Colombo. Objectives of BIMSTEC. There are 14 objectives of BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC is a sector-driven cooperation. The 14 objectives are trade and investment, transport and communication, energy, tourism, technology, fisheries, agriculture, public health, poverty alleviation, counter-terrorism and transnational crime, environmental and disaster management, people-to-people contact, cultural cooperation and climate change. There were talks on adding 2 more in the list like blue economy and mountain economy in the 4th summit at Kathmandu, Nepal. As BIMSTEC is a sector-driven cooperation, India is leading in 4 sectors which are tourism, transport and communication, counter-terrorism and environment. There are 2 policy-making bodies that are BIMSTEC summits and ministerial meeting. BIMSTEC accounts for 1.5 billion people of world, that is 22% of global population. Among the member countries, India is the most populated, followed by Bangladesh. BIMSTEC accounts for 2.7 trillion of GDP of economy. Among the member countries in terms of economy, India is top, followed by Thailand. Here when we say GDP, we talk about GDP in nominal terms. Nominal GDP means the GDP which is not adjusted for inflation. For example, let us quickly understand the difference between nominal and real GDP. Nominal GDP is not adjusted for inflation and it does not depend on the base year, while the real GDP takes account of inflation and base year is decided. Let us take an example and understand. Consider 2 years 2005 and 10. In 2005, the quantity of book was 2 and the price for which it was 1 book for 50 rupees. Then GDP comes at 100 rupees. In 2010, the quantity is 1 book and the price is 100 rupees for 1 book. The GDP comes at 100 rupees. Now when we look at GDP, it is same for 2005 and 10, but there is surely a difference. When we do not take into account the base year, then the present GDP is called as nominal GDP. As we can clearly see from the example that there is an inflation of rupees 50. Here nominal GDP comes at 100 rupees. And for real GDP, we take into account the inflation and decide the base year. And therefore here the real GDP is 50 rupees. So let us move back to our topic. 4th BIMSTEC Summit 2018, Kathmandu, Nepal. The theme was Towards a Peaceful, Prosperous and Sustainable Bay of Bengal. Please try and remember the theme as it is very important from your exam point of view. The 18-point Kathmandu Declaration was signed. It is expected to enhance the effectiveness and engaging in various technical and economic activities. A MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, was also signed on BIMSTEC grid interconnection. And following the interconnection talks have already started on BIMSTEC 300-kilometer long grid at ministerial meeting in Bangladesh. BIMSTEC 300-kilometer long grid. It will be between India, Myanmar and Thailand. Talks have already started but no construction yet. It will be funded by ADB, which stands for Asian Development Bank, and AIIB, which stands for Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. AIIB was also asked in 2019 pre of UPSC. BIMSTEC's first military exercise 2018. Its first military exercise was held in India Foreign Training Node, Pune, Maharashtra. The theme was Semi-Urban Terrain and Cordon and Search. It was held from 10 and 16 September 2018. It was decided that 30 soldiers per country will take part, while not all countries participated like Nepal and Thailand. But the reasons given by both countries were different. The reason given by Thailand was said officially, as their army was on another exercise and schedule did not match. Nepal, however, sent a 3-member observer team. It represented but did not participate. Also, its soldiers participation was not made official. BIMSTEC Disaster Management Exercise 2020. It was held at Bhubaneswar, Odisha from 11 to 13th Feb 2020. The focus was heritage structure protection. All members of BIMSTEC except Bhutan and Thailand participated. Other participants were UNDP, which stands for United Nations Development Programme, International Search and Rescue Advisory Group, International Center for Study of the Preservation and Restoration of Cultural Property. This is the second time a BIMSTEC disaster management exercise was held in India, as the first exercise of BIMSTEC was also held in India in 2017. The focus of first exercise was testing the region's preparedness and resilience towards effective activation of intergovernmental interaction, dialogue, agreement for immediate deployment of resources for disaster management. BIMSTEC and its importance for India. The importance of BIMSTEC can be understood from the fact that the BIMSTEC member countries were invited in a Prime Minister Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony. Also, it is very important for India to coordinate more with the member countries and have a good bilateral and multilateral relations, as except India and Bhutan, all are part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. Also, for the development of a northeastern region, BIMSTEC plays a very important role. For example, the Kaladan multi-modal project between India and Myanmar. That's all about BIMSTEC as of July 2020. You will be updated if new progress takes place. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Thanks for watching. Be happy.